Welcome to the Men's Room Show. I am Linda Tilson, a men's empowerment coach from a woman's perspective, and I will be tonight's moderator as the men address the topic, Friendship Fuel Men's Vitality. The panel will start by exploring what kinds of friendships they value, why having them matters, and how they go about forming and nurturing them. Then we are going to take a deeper dive into the benefits and challenges they experience with friendships of the same sex and the opposite sex. The Men's Room Show is a weekly show that creates a space for men to feel safe to express their emotions in a vulnerable way. It is a place where men can be seen, heard, and acknowledged without feeling judged or afraid to show sides of themselves that are different than society's expectations. We aim to educate, inspire, empower, and advocate. Please note that we are not licensed clinicians. We express views and opinions based on our individual experiences. Our stories are meant to inspire others and do not replace medical advice or professional guidance. So please join me in welcoming tonight's panel. I've got Steve Alley, who's a quantum coach, and I have RJ Horner, who is a men's empowerment coach. So I'm super excited to get into tonight's topic. What about you guys?
Yeah, it seems to be a really great topic. So I think it's a very important topic also.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, it's something that we can't do without. Like I always say, we can't live this life alone, right? We need people. So, and the level of people that we allow people into our lives is really important.
That's so true. And, I was doing some reading and just on the social aspects of having friendships is important, but it's more than that. It's the whole physical and mental well-being that matters. And you can tell when somebody has a good support system and friendships where they're enjoying life, and the person that maybe doesn't have that and they're more off to themselves. You can see the difference. It's night and day when somebody doesn't have that. And so for me, this topic's really important because, and it's late where everyone's actually tuning in from. I'm the only one that's sitting here at dinner time. So anyway, I just had to just joke around here because that's what friends do, right? We joke. So yeah, usually I'm the person that says that we need to take care of our stuff because I'm not saying the word shit. But anyway, just having a little bit of fun here. So taking us back to why, friendships are important and the benefits, research shows us that. But I really want to start off with talking about, what friendship means to you and, why it's important and how you go about cultivating those relationships. And so those are the first three things. I thought we can just start right there.
I can take that one.
Okay, you go first. Absolutely.
All right. So for me, actually, my friendships, well, it's to me, it's the most important thing that I have in my life. Why? Well, they saved my life a few times already. When I say that is because, well, I've been through depression, I've been through burnout, I've been through a lot of mental health issues. And if I would not have had my friends, I probably would not have been right now. So let me talk just a minute about one person that I have in my life that is just an angel for me. Her name is Stephanie. I know her for about 24 years now. And it's actually a very fun story because, well, the way we encountered and everything, but it's also, well, she's my best friend. And what we very often hear is that friendships between men and women are very difficult, are not possible. that there are things behind it. And I would say to that, yes and no, because, well, our friendship started in a way that, yes, I liked her. I found her very attractive. I was very interested, but at the same time, at some point, it shifted. And now we're just friends, but we are friends in a way that, well, if she sees me, she's jumping on me like a monkey climbing a tree. So it's really fun to see. She's like, well, she's like a head smaller than me. She's really, really tiny. So when she jumps on me, it's really like just a little monkey that's grabbing onto a tree. But she has so much personality. You would not mess with that woman, seriously. But what also is so fun with her is I can tell her that I love her. She can tell me that she loves me. And there's absolutely no dubious ideas about it. I'm not in love with her. I just love her. She's the total package of a real friend. And I appreciate that so much. I think that's really interesting and I needed to get that off my chest because it's so important to have that. So one person in your life that really makes you feel like, well, you matter to them and that it's not just family. I don't know how you guys think about friendship, but that to me is so important because I really have a lot of friends around, but my origin language, we differentiate that we have friends, and then we have something that we call copain. And copain is more something like camaraderie. So there, you have fun with those people, but that's it. And I have a lot of those, but I don't have a lot of friends. And it's so important to really have friends. All the other people might enjoy the fact that you are miserable. They might actually love the fact that you failed at something, or if you come up with something that you really did well on, and they will just say, oh yeah, I did something even better, and stay competitive with you. To me, there's one really big rule in finding friends. A friend is someone who's going to listen to bad news and just listen to it, not trying to overtell it. Like, for example, if you say, well, I just got surgery on my left toe. Well, that person is not going to tell you, well, I just got surgery from my kidney, just to make it even better, worse than what they have. A real friend will just listen to you and give their opinion about it. And if you deliver good news, they will celebrate with you, which camaraderie will not probably, well, they can do that, but it's less probable, in my opinion.
Absolutely. I kind of agree with what you're saying there, Steve. First of all, I do have a bestie who's, she's a female. She's short like yours. But we've been lifelong friends, right? Like we're neighborhood friends. And there was never, in fact, at one point she wanted to get with me. There was that, but I had said at the time, I'd just as soon strangle her as love her. You know what I mean? Because at the time she was young, she was immature, so we'd clash. But in a good way, in a friendship way, we'd clash. You know what I mean? We'd argue or debate with each other. But at the same time, to me, there was never anything there. You know what I mean? It wasn't an intimate thing. Because now the reason I say that is because some men, and we'll talk about this, I'm sure, later, but some men can't handle that platonic relationship with people, right? And I think, look, what it boils down to is, how does this person make you feel, right? How close do you want to let them into your sphere of influence, right? I say it all the time. How important is this person to you? Right? That's what matters. Because I think friendship on every level is a companionship. Like you said, you have your comrades, you have your, people who you hang out with, you spend time with, but they're not close or intimate friends, but they're still companions, right? You spend your time with them. But then we go a little further, and those people who we learn to trust, we learn to share our experiences with. Those people matter just a little bit more, and we allow them to not only share our time, but our thoughts and our beliefs, and like you said, you know what, you share when you're going through issues or intimate problems, right? And they're your support circle. They're there for you no matter what. Quite often not judgmental, and they are the people you rely on, the people who are, the closest to you, because you allowed them to take that step further and become somebody who's important to
Yeah, I do agree. And it actually remembers something that I said before. My friends, I give them the power to destroy me, but I trust them not to.
you. I remember you saying that. Yeah.
And why I say that is because these are the people I can be vulnerable with. And I know that they will not use my vulnerability against me. Other people might actually do that, and or not. It's all possible, but I know for sure that these people will not destroy me with what they know about me.
And I like the way you put that they may destroy you or not, right? Because honestly, first of all, the people we let close, we know that we've allowed them there for a reason, because they've demonstrated that they're not going to take advantage of us in certain ways. But the thing is, we give people trust, right? And that's what it's all about. I think we have to give people the benefit of the doubt. In other words, look, you don't let people into that friendship level unless you've observed them for a while, hung out with them, you've spent time with them, you got to know their character. And then, like I said, those are the people you let in just a little bit closer to spend not beyond the camaraderie. I can't even describe it. It's just they are your close and intimate friends.
I agree. I
Yeah.
totally agree.
What I'm hearing is the people that are that one step in past camaraderie, the people that you let in, those are the people that aren't comparing themselves to you. They are there not just when it's convenient. And I'm guessing because you said that they could destroy you, but I think you mean they can challenge you. They can challenge your, don't you mean they could challenge you to like step into a place, or they could challenge you to be your best self? Because, and
No,
I'm putting this in there because I wasn't sure if that played in there. Someone that challenged you to mentally or physically to go to a different level.
no, they can do that, but what I meant by it is, um, for example, you might actually feel so vulnerable and bad in your mind, and you might tell them things about you that you know that you don't want anyone else to know, and trust them not to tell anyone, because if someone else knows, they could use that against you. Now, it might not be something really big, but it might actually be something that really hurts you. I might actually use an example for that. A few years ago, my grandmother said something really, really icky to me, that my father abandoned us when I was 8 months old, and it was all my fault. That's what she said to me. So, to me, I was like 35 years old at that point, and I started crying my eyes out. Um, I know it doesn't make any sense. And I talked to my best friend, and I told her I was destroyed by what she actually said. and that I was crying and all of that. Now, someone else could have laughed about me crying over something that stupid, and it would have hurt me even more. That's the way that I mean they can destroy me. They can destroy me, but I trust them not to.
Mhm.
It's a
And I
good
think
point there.
I think there's a mutual exchange of trust too, right? They trust you in much the same way. If you have the potential to share those type of experiences with somebody, there's a mutual exchange of trust going on.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I do like the idea that you had right before, Linda, the fact that friends can challenge you. Yes, they can definitely challenge you in a way that, for example, if they see that you're not going in a straight line, they might actually just tell you, "Hey, dude, you're not doing this right now. You need you need to fucking shape yourself right back out." And I don't know, when people might actually tell you that you're not doing good, you don't give a shit about that. But if your friends tell you, your real friends, the ones that are telling you that with from the heart, you know that this means business. You're not gonna think twice for just shaping up again. And that
Definitely.
also because you respect those people, and not listening to what they have to say would be disrespectful. So that is not what you're if you don't respect your best friends, well, you're not a good friend. So you're not in a friendship then at that point.
That's
Well, that's
very
my opinion.
that's true. I mean, if you put that out there and and you're not, taking it in and just giving it a listen and being respectful, then there isn't that friendship there. There isn't that trust. Um, so what about the friend that is there for you when they see you have potential to be doing something and you're not stepping into it, like going outside of your comfort zone, and they push you to do that. They ask you questions or they give you opportunities where you could do that. That's a kind of challenging I was speaking to. um do you find that that's important to you, as someone that'll just give you that nudge, or just to go a step deeper because they actually want to see you succeed, they want to see you develop? And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because one of my best friends challenges me to step outside my comfort zone, to try new things, and creates a space a lot of times so we can practice these new things. And I've always really truly valued that because, a lot of times with friendships, even if we're colleagues and we have similar lines of work, there is going to be that line of competition once in a while, whether it's speaking or how much you can get in sales, or whatever it is that you're working, there's going to be that. But someone that truly like steps up and helps you through that, and just is that nudge, and it's just really nice thing to have. So I
Mhm.
value that. That's one of the things that in my relationships, whether they're same sex or opposite sex, someone that can challenge me and to push me a little bit, I enjoy that more than anything, because I don't want to be that person where, let's say, you have something you need to work on, and that, and no one ever tells you. A good friend's going to say,
Yeah.
you might want to rethink this when you do this. And there are times where I was put in a place where I felt kind of ashamed after I heard what was said, that what I needed to do. There was that little piece a few times, but then I realized that, oh, the people that you trust to have that heart and they have it the best for you, they're not telling you to squash you down. They're not telling you to hurt you. They're telling you because they see that you can be in this different space. And so, why wouldn't you want that? So now I'm always open to any kind of feedback, criticism, even though it's not fun, because the times that it's come up, and even if it did feel a little embarrassing or shameful, I stepped into it and started doing this thing or stopped doing a thing, and it was so successful. So yeah. So I just was curious if men value that type of a thing in their relationships in the same way that when maybe women do.
I'd love to step in here. Just I don't know if it's a genuine trait of whether it's male, female, or I would say you're blessed for having such a relationship with somebody, because I don't think that's a natural inclination for friendship.
Hmm.
Like, okay, my wife is my best friend, and I'm not, people think it's corny to even say such a thing, but you know what? Look, first of all, she's the person who matters the most to me. She's the person I want to share everything with, all my experiences with. I want her to support me and be there for me and have those deep and intimate conversations. So she challenges me, but you understand her reason for wanting to challenge me in that role, and I do the same with her. But because we will do better together as a couple. The more challenging we are towards each other, the better we can get along, the better we can solve our problems, the more successful we can become. So I can understand that. I don't personally have many relationships like that. There's a reason I seek out masterminds and things like that, so that I
Yes.
can get that accountability. I can get people to push me. I can work with others um, to take it to that next level. Um, but I think, like I said, I don't think it's a natural inclination for friendship. They can hold us accountable, like Steve was mentioning earlier, right? They can, tell us that, okay, you know what, you're not doing so well in this area. I've noticed this. What can you do? Do you think there's something more you can do? Yes, they do that. But I don't think it's a natural inclination between friends, because I think friendship is more a supportive role.
Hmm.
Not to say that person is not your friend. You know what I mean?
No, I'm just taking in these different perspectives. I guess I'm, like you said, I'm blessed to have a person that would challenge and support and create the space to do these things.
Absolutely, because I think we need that. I think as people, we
Yeah.
need that. But like I said, I don't believe that's a natural inclination of friendship. And that's why people do seek coaches and mentors,
Mhm.
masterminds to push them to that next level, because it's not a natural inclination or something we expect from our friends. In fact, some people don't even want that from their friends, right? So,
Mhm.
Yeah.
I don't
but
expect it, but I appreciate that it's there. I mean, to have it be in a person that you trust, respect, and care about, to have that happen, yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
like I said, I think you're blessed in that area. So I don't know if it's something that men and women see differently. But I will say I don't have very many intimate friendships. Like, I have a close knit bond of friends. But I don't have that best friend, and I don't share all my intimate details with my friends like that. I like spending time with them. I like having a good time, sharing social occasions.
Yeah.
But I don't share intimate details with them. I don't, let that, and I'm not trying to be, um, say that men, that's, you know, perpetuate the stigmatism. Basically, I'm not saying that, this is how we are as men. I'm saying for me, that's how it works. I do, from most of my experiences that I've seen, um, know that women are more inclined to do that, or, a lot of them. You know what I mean? I'm not saying all women, I'm not putting any stereotypes here. I'm just saying I've noticed that women tend to have those more intimate bonds among each other, where they'll share their conversations and share what's going on in their lives. And I think men are, or at least in my experience, personal experience, I don't share my intimate details with people that much.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. I mean, to want to be able to share, that's a preference. It certainly is. I don't know that it's necessarily gender specific, but
Mhm.
each person's different. That some people would just not want to go there, and because they don't have that need or that desire to want to do that, and there's nothing wrong with that. And then the people like myself that like being on that level, and which is probably why I'm drawn to coaching, because I'm very much into, why do people think and behave the way they do? And I'm always analyzing myself and people that I'm around and looking at the dynamics of relationships in general. I've done that since I've been about 12 years old, I would say. And so maybe I just have more of a trust and a genuine need and desire to want to go down that path. So I'm open to it. So I'm open to criticism. I'm open to, oh, you should try this. Sure, I'll go try that. I figure what's there to lose, really nothing. You might find out you like something. So I guess that's just my way I'm wired in my perspective. And so and that's yours with the level of vulnerability you want to have. It's different, and that's
Mhm.
good. It's
Yeah.
fine. It's each to their own.
Yeah, one of my best buds, like I call him my brother, like we're that close. But even still, I don't share those intimate details. We have conversations. We know what's going on in each other's lives. That's how we share. That's how we connect. Because I live here. He actually used to live in Alberta. Now he's living in Sudbury, still 4 hours away from me. But so we just we share with each other. We talk to each other, but we don't share those intimate, you know, yeah, the deep things that matter. But we're
I
still
do,
close. We still have that bond.
I do think that I do agree with you, RJ. I do think that fundamentally men have friends more to chill out, to do things together, to just breathe and yeah, well, relax a little bit and have some fun, but not really just go and try to get even to do even more. If you see what I mean by that,
Mhm.
it's not adding to the plate. It's more like we're removing a little bit from the plate, and we're not gonna share that much between men, or it might actually be about things like, oh, I got a leak somewhere. Do you know how the hell did you repair that kind of stuff? We actually are gonna try to do that type of things together, but really go into the emotional part is I think it's not something that we easily do. I think that's also why I do that with my best friend Stephanie, because, well, between men, talking about emotions is a little bit complicated sometimes. But if you do that with a woman, it's easier, I think. And
So it's one of the benefits of having
yeah,
maybe an opposite
absolutely.
sex, someone, a woman, that you could have an easier time with those types of conversations as opposed to your male friend. And, and so, yeah, no, I get that. I'm looking at the questions that I wanted to ask you guys tonight. And, another one that I'm curious besides the same sex and other sexes, um, how have your friendships changed as you've gotten older? Like do you have as many? Do you have less? Are they deeper? Are they more important, less important? How have they changed over the years? Or maybe even getting new friends, is that harder or easier?
Well, I can tell you, I don't make friends easy. I never have. Not to say I don't have friends, right? I've always had, let's call it trust issues. I know what people are capable of. I've been burned a time or two in my life. In fact, I used to say that my faith is as such now, you know, where I've been with my religion and all that. But I used to say, as far as faith, I have faith that people will do what's in their best interest to do. In other words, every person will react according to their own interests. So that created trust issues in me. So I have difficulty letting people close. Now, that, like I said, that's not to say that I have, few friendships. Just that I don't make friends easy. And then when you're spending all time working, there's very few opportunities to just socially engage people and engage them, right? Get to know them and what they're all about, and whether I should bring them to that level of trust. So I think, as again, being, a little bit older, a little bit more responsible, um, letting people close is a little bit of a sore issue still. And I'm almost 50. Can I open that up a little bit at this age? I don't know. I'm always willing. I'm always open. But well, you know what? I have more faith now than I did once upon a time.
Mhm.
Like I said, I do give people the benefit of the doubt, but I think I'm always watching for that opportunity that they might take to take their own advantage. So it hurts my relationships. I'm certain of that. So I don't have those deep, intimate bonds. Look, you know how close Curtis and I have been, that we've gotten over the years. But I mean, that was we were at seminars that we were going to for about 2 years before we even kind of bridged that gap and got to know each other just a little bit more. So I find a hard time letting people into that, to the inner circle, basically.
Yeah, me too. I like the idea of being open, but I have to admit that over the years, when I was a kid, I was really timid. Um, I was really shy, so making friends was really difficult. I got bullied a lot, so I became a little bit of a loner. So I understand very quickly that what you said, RJ. People will only do what's in their best interest. Now, if for me, I understood very quickly that the bully is bullying me just to get the attention in my direction and not towards himself. So I knew that that was in his own best interest to bully me. So I'm not pissed at that person anymore. But what it did with me was that I only kept the people close that I knew that I could count on. And at that point, it was friends of friends, but new people, that was not possible to me. I could not talk to them. I could not trust them. That was not possible. And now, with the years, I see that all these people that I trusted before, they're all gone. There's not one person that I trusted or that was considered a friend that is still in my life, except one person. Well, two people. There are only two people, and they're two opposites, and it's really fun. I actually have an anecdote on that to give you the idea of how different they are and how I benefit from their friendship in different ways. So we have Stephanie, who's, well, she's a lady, and she's open to talk really about anything with me. Emotions, material things, whatever. I can come and talk about anything. Talk about intelligent things, have conversations about anything, no problem. And then I have, well, first of all, the difference is Stephanie, I don't see her very often. We don't live too far from each other, but she's an entrepreneur, so she's really busy. But I know that if I need her, I just have to give her a ring and she will be there. And then on the other side, we have Frederick. Frederick is not a friend that I chose in a certain way. He was the son of a friend of my mom's. So he knows me from when I was born. And he actually is the type of person I cannot talk about emotions with him. I cannot talk about intelligent things about with him. But if I have something, if I'm really in a pickle, he's the one I can call. He's the one that is going to get me out of a burning building or anything or things like that. That's for sure. But the fun anecdote about this is Stephanie, I'm going to tell her, well, I like this girl, but I don't think she likes me. And she's going to try and to analyze every word that she said to me, or every single text. She's going to try to analyze everything. And Frederick, the only thing that I get from Frederick is, oh yeah, I can see that's difficult. And that conversation is finished. But I know that is always the same cue. It's always the same phrase. If I say something that's emotional, he's going to react, oh yeah, I can see that is difficult. And the conversation is done. But they too, both of them are so fun to be around. He's not that intelligent, but he's crazy in a way that's so fun to be around. So I still have the relaxed part of it. And with Stephanie, I have the support part of it, which those two together, that's the top of the top. So why I'm saying that is, well, it's not actually important that you get every single pointer that you need in a friend, neither. If you have more than one friend, you don't even have to have a best friend. As men, I know that a lot of my friends, they don't have a best friend. They just have a lot of friends scattered around, and well, they will get they have something in common with that guy. Okay, they will go to the fitness, for example, and they will do that. The other one likes football. Oh, they're gonna talk about that there. Oh, talking about women, no problem. Jack is there for them. And you can make one best friend out of multiple people. That's how I think. I think that men usually see it. Women usually, in my opinion, of course, are going to get along with people for a while and then change to another person. And when someone else comes along, well, it's kind of it's turning around all the time. It's not always the same person that is the best friend. And I do think that kind of does two things: bring stability in a way. There's always a best friend, but there's a lot of variety because it's always another person, which makes it very exciting. And I think that is what women usually need. It's more excitement, and men, we need more. Oh, just leave us alone. Let us relax. Give us a beer, and we're okay.
That's true.
I
That's part of
think
the
like-
male bonding, isn't it? Just to go have fun and relax versus maybe someone of the opposite sex where you might have different types of conversations or whatnot. But I'm hearing that you're not necessarily going to settle down into one or two. You're going to have different people with different things that benefit the relationship, and at different times, that's what you're going to gravitate to. And
Yeah.
that to me makes sense that that's how it would work, that you're not going to put all of your stock into one person, but you might have your go-to people that you have the trust and the openness and the mutual exchange. So it's a combination really of having different types of friends that do different things at any given point.
Yeah, and I think you know what? There's why I say my wife is my best friend, no matter what. Like, she is my friend. She matters that much to me. We share a lot together, and so I think your partner should be your best friend. You know what? As corny as everybody thinks that sounds,
Oh, I agree.
that's the person where you spend all of your intimate energy with. So of course that should be your best friend. But as far as those close, intimate bonds, I think, like Steve said, not one friend can supply all of the things that you need from a person. So having, a selection of close friends allows you that variety when you need something different from somebody else. There's this person here with you, right? So I think that's where that comes from.
I agree. I totally agree.
So is there anything else that's on either of your minds that we haven't spoken to yet as we're wrapping up the hour here?
I will say, because I looked at the last question you haven't gotten to. Well, it's not even the last question, but you had so many more questions here. But one of them is those friends who matter the most to you. Because look, we're not always going to agree with people around us. We're not always going to agree with our friends. My best friend, well, my best bud, like I said, my brother, we can argue with each other. We can fight with each other. In fact, we can have it out with each other. Now, that doesn't mean we hate each other. It doesn't mean we're truly angry with each other. It just means I don't agree. I don't want to talk about it right now. And you know what? We can tell each other, F you, you know what? I don't want to deal with this right now. Now, that doesn't mean our friendship is over because we've had this kind of conversation. What it means is I'm frustrated right now. I don't agree with what you're saying. Let's just end this right here. But I'll talk to you tomorrow. Right? So tomorrow's a different day. Tomorrow's a different circumstance. You still mean as much to me,
Yeah.
but we just can't agree. So maybe we agree or disagree and we part ways that way. Or maybe we tell each other to F off and hang up the phone. But still they're there for you tomorrow and vice versa. You're there for them. That's the intimate friendship that really matters.
I
And
agree.
if they can't be in that position, then you have to assess their level of friendship, right? How again, like I always say, how important are they to you? How important are you to them?
Yeah, and I think what is important is to choose the people that choose you. And because, well, if you choose someone who doesn't choose you, well, you're just gonna get frustrated. And that's exactly the same thing in another relationship. Whatever, choose the people who choose you. It's not difficult. You feel at ease with someone, you can see there is a reciprocity. Well, go ahead. If not, walk away. That's how I
And you
see
know
it.
what? Our friends can be our soulmates too, because
Yeah.
look, you know what? I find the best friendships, it's not even a choice, right? I didn't choose them. They didn't choose me. It was just nature bringing us together for whatever reason, right? There's a bond there that we share and it just happened. Right? Those are the best friendships. Look, Linda, her and I have gotten to know each other very well in the last many moons. And I consider her a good friend. We're partners. We're doing a lot of great work together, but I consider her a friend and I rely on her for quite a lot of things. And that just happened. You know what I mean? She all of a sudden turned up in my circle of influence. Then she started spending more time. Then we started working together. Now we share a lot of intimate conversations with each other, not just in these forums, but we talk to each other, right? Now I think that's a trait of you, Linda. I think you're just there for people and people gravitate to you that way. But again, I'm glad you come into into my sphere because you're a person who matters to me. And again, that's I think where nature brings people together. So it's those people aren't even a choice. It wasn't something I chose. It just kind of gravitationally happened.
You're right. You're right. A lot of times that happens. We just happen to be in a certain place at a certain time for some kind of mutual interest. And through those mutual interests, then the friendship, the trust, the relatedness, all of that just starts to form. And so you're right. This wasn't really a choice. It was just something that happened by circumstance. And we were both open to it and we decided to see where it would go. So yeah, I would say that it probably is a little bit of my character to gravitate to places where people want support. I was always that person. So I'm still that person. And so because I'm willing to open up a side of me and let somebody in, and they could talk to me about anything, well, yeah, um, that does happen. And, it's been something that I didn't really recognize or value really before, but I really value it now, being able to be that presence, wherever I happen to be, and to have people feel comfortable and safe, which is why, coaching is a great fit for me. Because you can't coach somebody that won't open up or doesn't trust you. If they don't trust you or don't open up, or they don't feel like that you could sit and listen to them and just listen, then it's not going to work very well. So that is true.
Absolutely. So, and so I think we've talked enough about what friendship means and where it goes and what the importance of them to each other is. But I don't think we've even really touched on quite a few of your questions. So what I'm thinking is maybe we hold this conversation again. Maybe we'll eliminate some of the questions, because I think some of the questions you have here revolve around a certain topic of how you handle friendships, what kind of relationships you do have with these friends. And then, like you said, there was that male versus female, that friendship level. We haven't even touched on these topics. So I
That's
would
true.
love to see us maybe delve into these again on this topic of friendship.
It's really interesting that you say that, RJ, because that was a conversation that Steve and I were having, because we felt like having 4 or more panelists would give a bigger, richer conversation to all of these different things, because not all of us are connected quite in the same level of friendship. Because Steve and I are friends, you and I are friends, RJ, and so we come with a different dynamic already. And so I wanted to open up to have a much bigger, broader conversation where we get some different opinions. And even, someone that's in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, it does make a difference on what you
Yeah.
want in a friendship, what it means to have opposite sex friendships. I think you'd have a lot of different themes running through. And so, yes, I would like us to be able to do that, and to really go deeper into answering some of those questions with a more diverse panel. That is
Mhm.
true.
Absolutely. And so let's hope that we can invite more people out to come and join us.
Absolutely. I've got a couple conversations of some guests that would like to come and be on our panel. And I want to put that out to our audience as well. If there's ever a subject that's something that you think that we should hear, that we should go down, put it in the comments, send us an email. If you want to come and speak to a certain topic, I think that is one of the best things. If you have something that's really on your heart or your mind that you want to bring up, then we want to have you come out on our show, because we want to get different, diverse perspectives each and every week that's different than our core regular panel members, which is why we like to have the guests, because we just never know what's going to be said. And, there's times where any one of us can hear a perspective and it could change the way we saw something or felt about something. And so that's the purpose of having this show, is to get different perspectives and to really support each other.
And maybe to open up people's eyes by, voicing our opinions. Look, a lot of times in men's circles, men don't open up. They're not open to conversations. They're not open to vulnerability. By us having these conversations, we're being vulnerable enough so that maybe somebody out there hearing what we're talking about can open up their eyes a little bit, can change their views or their beliefs just a little bit, and maybe expand their horizons just a little bit.
Absolutely. We want to have that space to expand horizons. And so what I would like to do before we end the show is really just put out the invitation again. You want to come and be on the panel? There's no requirements other than come and be yourself, be respectful, and be passionate. You don't even have to be the most spoken in the room, because we have people that are a little more introverted, and when they speak, they have a lot to say. So we will support you and guide you through the conversation. So there's nothing to prepare for. One of the other things that I did want to share this week is that our team of men for the men's room show are putting together an idea for having a weekly or monthly support group. And so we're looking for men that would like to lead the discussions. We're looking for maybe different subject matter experts that would like to be in the discussions, but they won't be aired and they won't have any kind of recording. So it'll be a true in the room experience. What stays or what's said in the room stays in the room. And so there'll be some, rules of engagement that'll happen. And so, that's something that we're doing. And I want your input. If you want to volunteer to do that work, I'd like to interview you to see if you'd be a fit to be in that environment. And so I'm putting the invitation out there. It's something that I've been passionate about wanting to do. I'm willing to be a part of the panel as well, but I also respect the need to have a all men's group. And so it makes no difference whether I'm in the room being a part of the discussion, or if I have another man or men doing that, or if we have a combination of having both types of support. I just want to put the support out there and how it needs to happen. It's going to happen organically. And it's something that we're doing. And so I want to hear from you if that's something that you want to participate in even. I mean, maybe you don't want to lead it. You want to come and be a part of that men's support group, then I want to know about it. And I will put together the resources with our team to make that happen.
Well said.
Okay.
Yep.
So that concludes our episode for this week. So you've got the invitation to join us on the Men's Room Show and Support Group on Facebook. We want you to like and to subscribe and comment on our YouTube channel. And we are having the standing going live each Thursday, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time and 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we are, I guess what we've put into play is having a monthly European hours edition so that we are reaching more audience. And so we're doing that as well. And so the next date we have on the calendar is March 25th. So be looking for that announcement of what topic will be going down and who will be participating. So with that, I wish you all a great night and we will see you next week.
Good night, guys.
Good night. Good night.
Bye-bye.